All right, good afternoon, everybody. So, April 24th, yesterday, my wife and I celebrated 30 years of being married. And the reason I mention that is that for those of us that work at the utility and public works, very often the phone rings and we're not home. And it snows and we're not home. And there's a flood in Ellicott City and we're not home. There's a derecho and there's Superstorm Sandy. And I just want to acknowledge for all the partners and spouses of people that work for this utility that are gracious enough to give us up so we can come to work and carry out the mission. I want to thank Faye for all the times that we sat at dinner and we sat down and the phone rang and I had to go to work. So for 30 years she's endured that and she's an angel. Today we're here to yet again celebrate not just the maintenance of infrastructure, but embracing exceptional work. About 7 years ago, we were out on a rainy day, groundbreaking for the 7th edition, and that project turned out ahead of schedule and under budget. So to my friends at Clark Construction, I want you to notice that it's raining today, and our expectation is we'll be ahead of schedule and under budget. As you know, most people associate Little Patuxent with its main mission of protecting the environment and public health with our effluent. But also key in that is we recover from that waste stream a really valuable resource. And it's been our effort to take that resource and return it to agriculture. But because of changing regulatory rules to help make the bay cleaner, we have to redo how we're treating solids at this plant. And that's what the 8th edition is all about. It's about replacing old with new and putting something in that's going to give us a product that we'll be able to maintain and work with right here in Howard County. So we're very excited that we're going to break ground today. As you can see, ground has actually been broken behind you. If you remember, there used to be some large tanks there. But today is a day of celebration of start and effort of a 4-year project to get in, get the work done, and to get our solid side of the plant redone. So I want to make a few introductions today, and I want to start with County Executive Alan Kittleman, and he's going to speak to us today. Secretary Ben Grumbles from MDE is an important partner from the regulatory perspective. We've also got Calvin Ball from the County Council and Mary Kay Siggety from the County Council. And I will say this, that I've worked with utilities all over the country, and I don't think there's a utility in the country that is governed better than this utility. We have just an amazing executive and legislative branch, and I think we owe a round of applause because we've got some great statesmen here. A lot of utilities struggle with if they can. We struggle with how great can we be, only because of the support we get. And of course, we got my boss, Jim Irvin. There is no better DPW director in the universe than my boss, Jim Irvin. Alan?
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. I was going to say something bad about you. Now I can't.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I do want to say how much I appreciate all the county folks here, the employees, and what you do. You don't do something where a lot of people see what you're doing, but what you do is very, very important for our community. And so I want to most of all say, on behalf of all the residents of Howard County, thank you very much for what you do and how well you do it. Because I can tell you, we hear when things happen, but we don't hear much about you guys because you do such a great job. We just don't hear it very much. And I just wanted to make sure you know it's important to us what you do, and you mean an awful lot to everyone in Howard County. And I'll be the first one to tell you, before I became county executive, I practiced law. I have no idea what goes on down here. I can't explain it to you. All I can say is I'm glad it works. And all I can say, we have good people like Steve Gerwin and others and all of you to make it work. I looked up where we Googled Biosolid. And I thought, I got to find out what this is. But the definition doesn't sound too appealing, I'll tell you. It's a quote. It says, nutrient-rich organic materials resulting from the treatment of domestic sewage in a treatment facility. Wow, that's really fun. But I will tell you, it is important. It's important for our environment. It's important actually for agriculture as well. What's going to happen here is going to allow us to be using the biosolids and the refuse that comes out to not only keep our environment, but also to help our agriculture too and help others. So what you're doing is really, really important. So I appreciate that. I want to thank my council colleagues for being here and all the members of the county council. As Steve said, we do try the best we can to try to help out as much as we can. I appreciate Jim Irvin as well. He has been a tremendous leader and certainly a good friend of mine since I've been into office as county executive, and I appreciate all of his expertise and his advice as well. But also, before he comes up to speak, I do want to also acknowledge Secretary Grumbles. He has been to Howard County a lot. He has come here because he knows that we're doing some great stuff here in Howard County. In addition to what we're doing here, he just told me this past weekend he was at Greenfest at the Howard Community College, and I know he's been out in the western part of the county working on a project out there. He has been all over the state of Maryland. He certainly cares about what we can do to make our environment better for everyone, to keep our Chesapeake Bay clean, but also to make sure that all of us can have the quality of life we deserve here in Maryland. So with that, I would like to bring up, if that's okay with you, unless you want to introduce the young man.
I think you've done a fine job.
Okay, I'll bring up Secretary Ben Grumbles. Thank you.
Well, my remarks will be very brief, probably uncharacteristically brief, but I'm here just to salute you, to congratulate Howard County and the Little Patuxent Biosolids facility and Public Works. I get really excited about these types of projects. The key for us in Maryland is seeing the value in these materials, recovering them, putting them to good use for cleaner water and a more prosperous future. And as County Executive was describing the biosolids phrase, I am proud to say that when I used to work on Capitol Hill as a staffer on the Clean Water Act reauthorization, this was back in the 80s, and we were very focused on how do we really begin to advance the importance, the beneficial use of sewage sludge. And so some of you know this, that biosolids was a term that it was a marketing term that people came up with to really put a more positive light on it, more deserving positive light on it. Some people came up with suggestions like residue, city soil, Maryland crap cake. But I can tell you that the work you're doing here is not only a significant investment for the public and for the ratepayers, but also for the Bay. And from the governor's perspective, we've talked about the challenges that municipal wastewater treatment plants have with the important new phosphorus management tool regulations, the increasing challenges and how you manage this material. And the solution is to build the public support, to have the technical know-how, the engineering expertise, and the commitment to recover those valuable materials and put them to good work. And so I can assure you that as the Hogan administration and as we who are serving in the public in Maryland are looking at how do we make continued improvements for the Chesapeake Bay and for local environmental quality, a key part of it is going to be projects just like this that recover those valuable nutrients and put those biosolids to good work and do it in a safe and healthy manner. And so I'm very appreciative of what you're doing. I know the governor is. Maryland Department of the Environment looks forward to working with you on the additional permitting responsibilities. But this is it's a wet day. It's a really happy day for this groundbreaking. And again, congratulations to Howard County for the environmental leadership it's showing and the work of those of you who are really working to clean our water and protect our watershed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Grumbles. And by the way, I think next week we're going to be meeting with you to talk about that phosphorus tool. Yes, sir. So we look forward to that conversation. Next, I want to introduce Calvin Ball. My wife and I were out one night and just bumming around, and we ran into Calvin, and he was gracious enough to have a 45-minute conversation with my wife. Just a real gentleman. And it's just nice. He's just very human, a very, very reasonable person. So, Calvin?
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. Mary Kay Siggety, my colleague, has made me promise to keep it to under an hour. I just want to, on behalf of the council and our other colleagues wish they could be here, is just thank you all. This is quite an important day for Howard County. The first reason it's important is because on a cold and rainy day, we have a packed tent. And that's a testament to you all, a testament to your commitment and your dedication to the citizens of Howard County. And no matter how much you might read about us elected officials, if you're not out there doing your job well, any of us look good. So thank you so much. Secondly, it's important because today is the embodiment of our dedication and commitment to innovation, to our environment, to making sure that we are as efficient, not only with the tax dollar, but with our resources, and that we think ahead. This is quite an exciting day, and I just want to, on behalf of the council, to thank you all. Mary Kay and I, over the years, have thought and talked a lot about, as you can imagine, the environment, but even biosolids, whether it's through zoning cases or the budget, which we're going through now, and the importance and the opportunity that's in it. So while I don't know all of the funny names that it could have been, I do know all the promise that it holds. So I'm not going to talk much longer, but again, thank you, and let's get to shoveling.
And lastly, a man of many words, Jim Irvin.
Good afternoon, and obviously Steve's performance review is due shortly, so he's working the crowd here with me, but it really is an honor and privilege to be here to see all the employees that work at this facility. It is really an amazing system that you have here. It runs every day of the year, day in and day out, and without your strong and committed work, we would not have a successful operation. You could spend all the money in the world on something, and if you don't have the right people at the right place, it's not going to work. So you're the reason we're here, because you do the job. The most important thing in the world here is operating this facility, and I want to thank you so much for that. This facility is used to be the most expensive project. It's about to be eclipsed by the courthouse, but it is really something that probably we could have put off for a few more years just because there's nobody at our back beating us up saying we have to do it. But that would have been the wrong decision. We need to move forward and make the biosolids to have the greatest possibility to reuse that in the most efficient way. And this gives us that great opportunity to move forward and provide a really good product. I think if you look at the news about treatment plants, everything you've read probably in the last 10 years has been on the liquid side dealing with the nutrients, and you don't hear very much about biosolids or the solid train anymore because the focus has been again on the bay and the phosphorus and nitrogen. And what we have here, though, is if you don't have this facility operating properly on the solid side, you're never going to get success on the liquid side. So this is really the backbone of what we do down here, is to get the solids out so you can work the magic on the liquid side. So it's a really great investment, and it'll pay off in the long run, protect this plant, protect the county and the environment. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for your dedication. I just wish that more citizens could come down here to see how complex this facility is. It's really almost mind-boggling to walk through there and realize that there's more than one person who knows what's going on down here. So that's really a gift and a credit to your ability and technical expertise. And I want to again say thank you for all you do on the good days and the bad days, but you always make it happen. This plant works day in and day out, and that's because of you. So thank you so much, and let's enjoy this day. Amen.
All right, before we put the shovels to the dirt, a couple of thank yous. To get to this day has been a tremendous effort. I want to first of all thank HDR, Larry Hentz, who I've known Larry 35 years with HDR, and I don't think there's more of a quintessential better consulting engineer than Larry, and Brian Balchunas, his partner. They've done a tremendous work to get us to the day where we can actually start construction, so thank you, HDR. To Dave Hill, our friends at Clark, Ben Miller. Ben, raise your hand. The young gun. The newer generation of folks I think are going to lead us to an amazing future here at the plant, but with Clark, we've had tremendous success in the past. We look forward to it. And again, I'll remind you again, rainy groundbreakings mean under budget. Just always keep that in mind. certainly want to thank those groups within the county government, Office of Law, Procurement. Our friends at DILP have been just an amazing help to get us. There's so many pieces in county government that have to work to get you to the day where you can break ground. Without that county organization, we wouldn't be here today. So we are ready to put shovel to the ground. Mary Kay, if we could ask you also to come up here, because Mary Kay has just been, she's involved in so many issues with the Patuxent River, and she does so much work behind the scenes from an environmental standpoint. She's a hero. She's an amazing person. So if I could ask Mary Kay if you could come up, and the four of us, and let's put shovel to dirt.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. We need to know
Gotta level it back out.
Wait till we all get ready. All right. Right now, everyone throw their hands up.
On 3. 1, 2, 3, and rotate.